Who is it?
Peter Gunn.
Will you come in? Please sit down. Not at the window, Mr. Gunn. Would you sit over there? I suppose it isn't any secret why I called.
Hard to miss the headlines. And that message on your front door.
They already have me convicted, Mr. Gunn.
But you haven't been arrested.
I was talking about them.
Mr. Conlon, if the police bought you as a murderer, you wouldn't be free right now.
I'm hardly free. This is why I didn't want you to sit over here. The town sentiments. I was reading. Someone threw a brick through the window. Did I do it? Did I kill her? I didn't even know her, Mr. Gunn. I didn't even know her.
You want to tell me how it was, Mr. Conlon?
Exactly as I told the police. I was working late, grading examinations. I heard the scream. Went down to the basement lockers. The girl was lying on the floor, that's all.
And the piece of pipe?
My hand just happened to touch it. And I picked it up. I don't even know why. And I turned around, and there was the janitor staring down at me.
All that was in the papers.
And you don't believe me any more than they did.
I didn't say that, Mr. Conlon.
Mr. Gunn, I'm new here in this neighborhood. I came here a few months ago from the east. Old story. Stranger moves in. People resent you. They're cool, reserved. Particularly when you take a job one of them was counting on.
Old story. Very charitable, but an old story.
And then it leads into something else. It's a pattern, a progression. Let something spectacular, sensational happen, a thing like this. And the coolness, the resentment, turns into hatred.
What can I do for you, Mr. Conlon?
Please find who really killed the girl. And, Mr. Gunn, I'm a school teacher. I don't make much money, so I'm worried about your fee.
You shouldn't be. I'm not.
Certainly he's a logical suspect.
Then?
Why didn't we arrest him? I can give you a number of reasons. Exhibit A had Conlon's fingerprints on it, but no blood.
You don't think the pipe is the murder weapon, huh?
She struck her head on the edge of the sink. Maybe she was pushed, maybe she fell. Maybe there was a struggle. Too many maybes to pick him up yet.
You're playing it kind of loose, aren't you, Lieutenant?
Pete? teacher's position is pretty miserable to begin with. Coffee? Don't ask me why, but he's got to come up a paragon every time. We have our private lives. I take a drink, so do you, no beefs. But let a teacher do it, and suddenly he's unfit to teach our children.
No argument.
And money. We're so generous and understanding. We pay him about $1,000 less than the county dog catcher.
Signs of the times.
Signs of stupidity. Public keeps waiting around for him to make one false step. Their version of it. And they want to crucify him.
You think Conlon's innocent?
That's not the point. Innocent or guilty. The minute we pick him up for murder, he can kiss his whole career goodbye.
But you plan just to wait it out, is that it?
Until I have irrevocable evidence that he did it.
Lieutenant, it's a side of you I've never seen before. I like it.
This is the kind of murder we don't like to handle. Yeah. Now, right away. The murdered girl's best friend is in the next room. I'm going to talk to her. Interested?
Interested.
Do we have to, Lieutenant? She was my best friend. My very best friend.
Here, Marjorie, maybe this will help.
I'm sorry.
Sure. Now, Marjorie, where did you last see June? What time?
It was in front of Ripley's, the drugstore where we always met. I guess it was about 10 minutes of 8.
And then?
We talked about the usual things of school, the dance Saturday night, things like that.
And then she left. Did she say where she was going?
No. I thought she was going home.
Well, obviously she didn't go there. Did she seem upset by anything? Did anything seem to be troubling her?
No. No, not that I noticed.
Marjorie, do you realize how important this is?
Yes?
Then what are you trying to hold back?
I'm not holding back.
Marjorie, do you know how many people I question in a year? She was your friend, Marjorie.
I just don't... She wouldn't want me to talk about it, even now.
Help her, Marjorie. Talk about it.
It was our secret. She was always afraid her folks would find out.
Find out what?
About the man she was seeing secretly.
What man?
Please, it wouldn't necessarily mean that he...
What man?
Mr. Conlon.
I didn't know June Dorn. She wasn't in any of my classes. I never saw her before.
I'm afraid you're going to have to prove that, Mr. Conlon.
Why?
We better talk about it downtown.
I'm under arrest. Maybe it's just as well.
What does that mean?
I've been sitting here, watching, listening to them outside. I don't know what the courtroom verdict will be. But they've already reached theirs.
He dances overhead on the ceiling near my bed in my sight. All through the night I try to hide in vain underneath.
That'll lock me in a room with him. I'd save him the cost of a trial.
My love, he's way up above. I whisper, go
the customers.
Haven't you heard? They're hanging Danny Deaver in the morning.
Yeah, word certainly gets around, doesn't it?
That kind of word I can do without. Pete, do you think he's guilty?
I think he ought to have a trial.
So do I.
My love, just for my love.
Did you bring a gavel
Gavel?
to get their attention?
Yeah. Rough night.
I don't even know why I came in. They don't care about entertainment.
Oh, they're getting their entertainment all right. Right up to the neck. Conlon's.
You got a light? I'd like some water.
All right, break it up there. Come on, you fish, knock it off. Oh, that's it. Break it up.
Knock it off.
That's as close to a kiss as I'm going to get tonight. I can see that.
Oh, I don't know.
Pete! Pete, Lieutenant Jacoby just called and wants you to get down to the jail right away.
What for?
Conlon.
Vox populi.
Fox what?
The public speaks.
Mother said something about Conlon.
Yeah, he got banged around pretty good in the tank. Some jailhouse lawyers worked him over.
Prisoners trying him, too, huh?
Well, you know how it goes. Class distinction. You can kill, you can rob, but there are certain kinds of crimes that upset our prisoner's delicate sense of decency.
Is he all right?
Yeah, I want to make sure he stays that way. That's why I called you.
What do you want me to do?
We're moving him out, Pete.
What, from precinct to precinct?
No, the town's too hot, inside the jails as well as out. Nothing says it can't happen again no matter where we put him.
So?
So you're taking him out.
Me?
Find one of those friendly sewers of yours and keep him there.
Well, now, look. All right. I'll see what I can do.
Mac, get Conlon ready. Gunn is moving him out.
Pete.
Don't be seen. Make that sewer very hard to find.
I'll think of something.
Just a few adroit strokes with this, and I will capture him.
Vladimir, I don't want you to sculpt him. I want you to hide him.
Those cheekbones, those eyes, those nose. A face like this should be seen by the entire world.
That's just the point. I don't want him seen by anybody.
Subterfuge?
Look, Vladimir.
Wait, I cover Nikita.
Who?
Nikita. Even the statues have ears. Piotr, he is about to overthrow something?
Hardly. Look, I just want to put Mr. Conlon in the deep freeze.
Oh, he is an enemy of the proletariat.
Vladimir, this is not a government issue. It's just a deal between the two of us.
Cool. Let's deal.
I want you to keep him here for a little while.
American or Siberian plan?
What difference does it make?
With the Siberian plan, he gets borscht for breakfast.
Yeah, well, you work it out, huh?
Are you trying to bribe me with money? I am the Picasso of plaster. I am an artist. I'm also 3 months behind on my rent. What did he do?
Just keep him under glass. I'll get back to you.
I'll treat him just like he was the Tsar.
Well, I'm afraid you're forgetting what happened to the Tsar.
Well, we all make mistakes. Ta-ta, Pyotr.
Down here.
Just looking around.
Are you a policeman?
Maybe.
Oh. Come to look for more evidence, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the general idea.
Well, I'm the janitor, and I saw the whole thing. My name is Simpkins, in case you want to quote me in the paper.
Mm-hmm. Well, just what did you see, Mr. Simpkins?
Well, like I told you, everything. I come in here, and I saw him standing over with that lead pipe in his hand.
Mm-hmm. Where was he standing?
Well, about where you are now.
But the girl's body was found over there, about 4 feet away.
Sure. Hey, what are you trying to prove?
Well, you just said you saw him standing over the body.
Are you trying to mix me up? Is that what you're doing?
No doubt you're going to tell the same story in court you just told me.
All they've got to do is ask me.
Well, it had better be an accurate story, Mr. Simpkins. A man's life hangs on it.
Look, what are you getting so uppity about? He's the one that killed the girl. I didn't.
Oh, he's been charged with the murder, but not convicted.
They'll get him all right.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. With a witness like you.
All I want is to see justice done.
Justice?
I know what I saw. I'm going to be right up there on that witness stand to tell it. And there ain't no fancy lawyer going to confuse me, neither.
Looks like you've already done a lot of telling.
People ask questions, I answer it.
You probably answered a lot of questions that weren't even asked. Did it give you a feeling of excitement, Mr. Simpkins? Make you feel good?
What?
Appointing yourself as the town crier. Messy business.
These things usually are.
Is Conlon all right?
Yeah, for the moment.
What does that mean?
Well, I passed a lot of people tonight. They've got an ugly mood. Conlon's trial, they want just one verdict. Take him out in the street and shoot him. That'll show him.
It's funny, I know an awful lot of people around here. Then I begin to wonder, do I really know them?
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much to heat up public opinion.
Too bad you can't lock it up.
Think that would stop it, Lieutenant? Can you lock up bigotry?
Case 1194B. The people versus Paul Conlon. Simple murder prosecution, that's all it was. Until this entire community went mad.
Just what do you plan to do, Mr. Bott?
As district attorney, it's my duty to prosecute. And I will. But you can be sure of one thing. I'll get to the bottom of every bit of testimony.
You sound like the defense attorney.
A lot of people forget that's part of my job, too. I've got to see that he gets a fair and impartial trial.
It won't be easy. Feelings running as high as they are.
Conlon should be allowed a continuance. Waiting period to let the town cool off. We've been getting letters, demands. They want this trial over with as quickly as possible.
Let me ask you one question. How are you going to select an unbiased jury?
All I can do is ask the questions. Ask them again and keep asking them until I get the answers. Now, Marjorie, it may seem that these questions were asked yesterday, but I've received new information. Important information. So I'm going to ask them again, and I have to have your help. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you stated that you met June in front of Ripley's drugstore the night of the murder.
Yes, sir.
About what time was this?
About 10 minutes to 8.
You're sure of the time? Wasn't 7:30 or 8 o'clock?
No, sir, about 10 of 8.
Did anyone see you?
I don't know. We were busy talking. I guess anyone who passed by.
No, that isn't what I meant. Anyone inside the drugstore? The counterman, perhaps, or Mr. Ripley?
Well, I don't know. I saw Mr. Ripley. I don't know if he saw me.
And what was Mr. Ripley doing?
Well, I don't know. He was at the counter. I guess he was filling a prescription.
But you're sure it was Mr. Ripley?
Yes, sir, it was Mr. Ripley.
Your Honor, the state submits that on the night in question, Mr. Ripley had to take his wife to the hospital. He left the drugstore at 7 p.m. Now, Marjorie, you didn't meet June in front of the drugstore. You met her at the school by the lockers.
No.
There was a fight, a struggle. You knocked her against the sink. She hit her head, and you ran out through the basement door. June wasn't your friend, was she?
I hated her. I hated her. She was everything at school. I was nothing. Pretty June, smart June. Always, all those years at school. Then, last month, there was this boy, Charles. He liked me, really liked me, until he met June. It was the same thing all over again. I called her. I told her to meet me. I told her to stay away. Leave me somebody. I got excited. I pushed her. She fell. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
Your Honor, state moves for dismissal against Paul Gunman.
So ordered. Witness is remanded to custody.
Thank you very much. Sure. Thank you, both of you.
Thank the townspeople. They voted the DA in. He's a pretty good lawyer.
Well, what now, Mr. Conlon? Back to school tomorrow?
Not even if they ask me.
You were acquitted.
Was I? A school teacher accused of murder? There can't be any acquittal.
Well, why don't you give it a little time? Think it over.
I'll always be the man who got away with it.
Where are you going to go?
Where do you go? I'll find some place, because I intend to go on teaching.